The record na. Okay, so this is your last module, quarter 2, module 3. This is the accounting practice set. If this is the face-to-face class, you're supposed to have your book with a lot of kanang mga practice set at the back. Na siya mga ansiranan sa likod. But since you don't have it, that's why I have prepared something. Gamay ra gay na siya akong gi-prepare. In the normal setting, there's more. Pero kana siya, gamay ra na siya. Okay? Now, this is good for 1 month. I have really given this as 1 month. And also, completion to this means perfect in your final exam. So, wala dili na ko maghimo og final exam, ha? This module will give you two na ang inyong scores. One in your performance task and written, and then another one will be your final exam. So this is like hitting two birds in one bullet. Okay, so I hope that you're going to take a lot of time and effort in doing this. Kay duha gyud ang inyong mahit ani niya if you're going to finish it. Okay, so this is practice to what you have learned in module, what you have learned in accounting 1 and accounting 2. Wait, di ako siya ma-move. So, I have scroll. I don't know where's the scroll. Okay, so before we move on, let me read to you the verse that I have shared in this module. It's found in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. It's a very famous memory verse. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I gave this text because I know that finishing this task really needs a lot of courage to do. But then, of course, if you don't allow Christ to help you, you won't have the strength to accomplish this. So make sure that you are going to put God first in everything. Okay. Our most essential learning competency, or the things that we need to accomplish at the end of this module, is to submit a completed accounting practice for the merchandising business. So you know a merchandising business. A merchandising business is a business wherein you're going to buy and sell the products. Okay, so that is a merchandising. It's the other word for buy and sell. Okay, enabling competencies, you're going to prepare basic forms and documents such as official receipts, vouchers, sale invoice, purchase invoice, delivery receipts, purchase order, and withdrawal and deposit slips. Now, the withdrawal and deposit, the deposit slips, you have already prepared that previously. Okay, yung kabalo na mo idea anang deposit slip. Okay, now, it says here, welcome to the world of accountants. You are about to be a bookkeeper. And then, of course, you are going to look at you will have an idea of what the accountant is going to work. Okay? And accountants use business forms in business transactions. So you need to know what are these business forms. So it contains information relevant to the transaction, such as the date of transaction, items bought or sold, the price, tax, and the name of the buyer and seller. There are many business forms. So these are the following forms that you need to learn and you need to know how to create. First is the purchase order. It's a form prepared by the buyer and sent to the seller to document the order and agreed upon terms of purchase. Delivery receipts. I know that if you can remember, we have studied all of this in accounting 1. Okay, delivery receipts, a form prepared by the seller with a copy given to the buyer to document the delivery of the items ordered. So from these two, okay, For example, I am a buyer, and then if I go to someone to buy something, that person will prepare a purchase order from me. Dili pa siya official receipt ang iyang i-prepare. It's a purchase order pa siya. Meaning wala pa ko nakabayad. He will just show to me mo ni imuhang gipang order, and then I have to sign because I have to agree nga nag-order ko ana. And then if I want my order to be delivered, then they will have to bring the delivery receipt. The delivery receipt will help the, it's kanang kuan na siya, it's like protection na siya sa buy as a seller, in order for them na kay acknowledgement that you have received the item. Without the delivery receipt signed by you, meaning wala pa na deliver ang item. Okay? Have you noticed when you're going to buy online products, diba, they will ask you to sign, okay? Because it's a proof that you have received a receipt, or they will ask a picture from you getting the item. Okay, that is a proof that you have taken the item. Next is the purchase and sales invoice. It could be a purchase invoice, okay, or it could be a sales invoice. It contains the information on the prices of the items delivered and the terms of the purchase. Most of the seller are issuing purchase and sales invoice only. Di kay sila ganahan mo issue og official receipts. Why? Because they want to evade. Gusto sila mo get away from paying tax to the government. So instead of issuing official receipt, what they do is they will just issue a purchase invoice. It will also inform from there, it's like a proof to the owner, proof to the seller and the buyer that you have paid this amount. Okay, but it's not official receipt because it's not the receipt that was being approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenues. Nga kadto na jud siya ang kuhaag basis kung pila imuhang income. Okay, the Bureau of Internal Revenue will get all your receipts, kana mga copy sa mga receipt nimo. It's in booklet form. But now, kuha naman siya kanang, kumbaga, automated na siya because we have now the computer to print the receipt. Okay? So, yun na siya. But it is what the government, muna itanawon sa government para they will see kung pila ang imong income. That's why kung dili ka mangayog official receipt, ang buyer, di po sila mo issue official receipt. Because if they will issue an official receipt, so ma-record na siya dito. So they cannot get away from paying tax. Pero if they will not issue an official receipt to you, they can get away from paying the exact amount of tax. It's not good. Dili na siya maayo, ha? In the future, you'll be becoming businessman, businesswoman, businessman. So I hope that nobody will do that, evading tax, because that is sin against the government as well as a sin against God. Okay, ingon man ang Ginoo nga, you have to pay what belongs to Caesar, pay what belongs to God. Okay, so we are here on earth and we belong to this government and we have to follow the rules. The rule says we have to pay tax, we have to pay tax, and we have to pay the exact amount of tax. We should not evade from it. Dapat ato siyang kanang, we have to get away. No, we should not be doing that. Okay, official receipt, as what I have said, is used to document cash transaction, and the entity receiving the cash will prepare the official receipts, and the entity paying will receive the OR as evidence of payment made. It is a protection to both parties. Okay, if something will happen and the party will say, you did not pay, for example, the buyer will say, Mr. So and so, we need your money because you have not paid yet the transaction that we have done. And seller, the buyer can always say, That's not true. I have already paid. See, I have the official receipt that you have given to me. So, it's a protection. Okay? Protection na siya sa buyer na side. Okay? It's an evidence that you have made a payment. Okay? By the way, this is used for cash transactions. Of course, if giutang niya, wala niya gibayaran in cash, you should not issue an official receipt yet. Kaya wala pa man na niya nabayaran in cash. But if nabayaran na niya in cash, then you're now going to issue an official receipt. So if wala pa niya nabayaran in cash, you can just use your sales invoice. Sales invoice lang sa niya mo ni ihanggi kikuan, gibayaran. At the end of it, nahuman na, bayad, then you issue the official receipt. Okay, I just attach here a flow. Flow lang ni siya of how things are being done. This is the buyer side, the documents that are needed for the buyer. And then this one is a seller side, okay, sample flow. Okay, so you have here purchase. This one is the purchase order. Okay, and then approved PO to supplier. This is the approved purchase order. And then going to the buyer's accounting, because the buyer will have to prepare for the money to pay. Okay, and in the seller's hand, what are they going to do? They will have the delivery receipt ready, prepare the DR, delivery receipt, and then they will use the delivery receipt will be given to the merchandise, or take the merchandise, the meaning the items and the delivery. Okay, kuhaon ani mo siya, and then mari na dayon siya sa buyer, ka i-deliver na dayon niya. Okay, so I just wanted to look at this flow. Actually dili na siya part gid sa ato ang activity in this module, but I attach it there so that you'll have an idea of how the documents are being prepared. Para asa, para kang kinsa na siya. Okay, so just look at the, tanawa lang na ang mga arrows. So from the approve, you can see from here, approve purchase order, you are now going to give it to the seller. Okay, because this setup is like a company setup ba nga naapay mo approve. So first mag-purchase order ka, then ipahatag nimo dito, needs approval. Once it's approved, you can now give it to the seller, so the seller can prepare a delivery receipt. They can prepare the items and they can deliver it to you. And you, since while they are preparing for the items to be delivered, you also have to prepare, you have to give it to the accounting so that you can prepare for the money to be paid. Okay? Mo na siya diha nga part. So, we'll move on. Kay dili gini siya actually part sa ato ang activity. Okay, so let me share to you from Mary Brown. It is a quote from Mary Brown. If you want an accounting of your worth, count your friends. So, I know that if you want to know whether you are popular, or maybe if a lot of people likes you, di ba, inana, count your friends daw. Pila man kadaghan imong, unsa man kadaghan imong friends, it means you are very friendly. Okay, so friendly ka if you have a lot of them. Pero di naman siguro natin makount atong mga friends. No, we have too many friends. Well, some of them are very close to us. Some of them are just acquaintances. But of course, we still consider them as friends. I know in your Facebook, gani, you have a million of them. How many of them are your close friends? Gamay-gamay lang, no? Pero you just consider all of them as friends. Okay, let us now move on to the proper activity. So this is now the activity that we're going to do. You are going to, if you are pick up, you use your notebook. You create a table like this. If you're online, you can use Word to create a table, and then you just have to upload it in our site. Okay, so this will serve as your exam. So I will consider this in two. There will be, let's say, the written part and also the exam part. Okay, ang tindahan company is a wholesaler of office and school supplies. The following are the transactions of the ang tindahan company or company for the first month of its operation. First month lang ni siya, July. All cash disbursements are made by bank check. Okay? And assume perpetual inventory method that is used. So how to do that? First, you're going to look at the columns that are made. I have here how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 columns that are being prepared. The first column is the date, it's given. The second column is the transaction, which is also given. The third column is the amount, also given. What you need to fill in will be the fourth, fifth, and the sixth column. So kani siya mo inyuhang i-fill in. So here you need to fill in the forms that are being prepared. Unsa man nga mga forms nga i-prepare dapat sa business. Okay? Ang i-prepare nimo. And then here you are going to prepare or write here the journal. So asa nimo siya ibutang nga journal? There are many journals. Ako sang ipakita ninyo later ang journals. Kani sila at naning na-studyhan before, if you can remember. And the entry, okay? Debit, for example, this one, you're going to debit the cash, 200,000, and you credit DY capital, 200,000. So that is an example. We're running out of time. We have 10 minutes left. So pag ma-off ni siya, I want you to go back to the link and click again. Okay? Because we will still go back to the mubalik ra siya diri gihapon, we can continue. So pag ma-end na ni siya ha, always remember that. Pag ma-end na ni siya, go back to our group chat and click the link once again para mabalik mo. Okay? Right? So, ako lang sa i-explain ninyo ang bank forms o ang journals. I'll go down. Okay. Okay, now here are the bank forms. So, mauni yung mga choices ninyo ng mga bank forms. Unsa ipang prepare, bank forms or the business forms will be the checks, with deposit slip, withdrawal slip, check voucher, purchase order, delivery receipt, official receipt, sales invoice, receiving report. So these are the business forms that you need to prepare. Now, unsa man yung mga books, unsa man yung mga journals ang akong ibutang adto sa mga column. Kanira inyong ibutang. It could be the sales, cash disbursements, cash receipts, and purchase. Okay? The problem is if you forgot already kung unsa ni sila. Now, I'll just give you a little idea out of it. So, when do I use sales? You will use sales when the company is making a sale in a transaction. Kung ang transaction dito, nagsulti that you are selling something or you have sales, then of course, automatically you will use the sales in your journal. The book that where you were going to record will be sales. Now, what about the cash disbursement? Unsa man yung cash disbursement? Okay, so the cash disbursements are being used if you are going to buy, mupalit ka o an equipment maybe for the company, or you will buy supplies, or you are going to buy merchandise for the company, and it is paid in cash, cash ang pagbayad, dili utang, you will use cash disbursement. Now, if you are going to buy but you are not going to pay in cash, dili siya paliton sa cash, utangon nimo siya. you will pay maybe after 1 month or after 2 months. Mupalit ka para sa company, you use purchase. Okay, use purchase. Now, what about the cash receipts? Okay, now these are the sales that are paid in cash. Sales that are paid in cash, you issue a cash receipts. Okay? So dili day tanan ibutang nimo dito nga to sa sales, because there are sales that are not paid in cash. So dito na siya sa sales, but you don't issue a cash receipt. Okay? Pero pag gipalit siya sa customer and then it is paid cash right away, you use cash receipts. Okay? So I hope that you have understood that. Did you understand the books, the journals? Unsay gamito na siya? You are going to read the transaction and analyze it. Unsa may akong gamiton ani? Should I use this journal, the sales journal, the cash disbursement books, the cash receipts book, or the purchase? Okay? Gets na ninyo? Ato naman ang i-discuss before, but I have just repeated it again, explain it to you in a very simple way so that you can remember. Kuha na? Okay ra? Eh? Okay. Now, the forms also, kanisiya, ato na nag-discuss sad. Check, of course, when you're going to prepare, check man na siya, preparing a check. Deposit slip, when you need to deposit money in the bank, you will prepare a deposit slip. Withdrawal slip, if you need to take money from the bank, you need to issue a withdrawal slip. Check voucher, when you need to pay something, when the company buys something and needs to pay in check, then you have to create a check voucher. Kay pirmahan pa man na siya sa presidente, pirmahan pa siya sa treasurer, kung okay ba sila. So you have to prepare a check voucher before you prepare a check. So mag-complement ni silang duha ha. You cannot make a check without a check voucher. So there has to be a check voucher first before the check. And then purchase order. When the company needs to buy something, you need to prepare a purchase order. From the word purchase and order, di ba? Order when you need something, you will order it. But so you have to complete it with a purchase order. Kaya palito nimo siya. Okay? And then delivery receipt. When you need to deliver an item to your customer, you need to prepare the delivery receipt. And once the customer has paid it in cash, fully paid, you are now going to prepare an official receipt. Sales invoice, when you are still going to inform the customer of the money or the amount of the items that the customer bought. Kanang wala pa bito niya na bayaran, but she needs to see how much does she need or he needs to pay. You will prepare sales invoice. Receiving report, that will be at the end of it. So you will get a report. You will prepare a report. If you are the one delivering it, you can now prepare, or you will now receive a report from someone nga nag-deliver ato. Okay, so that is receiving report. Okay, so for example, they will say the katong nag-deliver mingo sila ingon akong customer nga the item is really good, it's nice, so that's a receiving report. So now they can also say pangit ang item, or something na distorted, wala siya natarong og wrap or something. So that's like a feedback, no? Receiving report. Okay, so something like that. Okay, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Dili ko ganahan mo start sa activity sa taas if we don't have a lot of time, kay maputol ra gihapon siya. In here, I will not be taking everything because, of course, that's your job already. So what I'm going to explain to you will be July 1, both July 1, so that you will have an idea. I will explain to you the first one, first transaction, and the second transaction. But the rest of the transaction, you have to do it on your own. Hindi na pwede na si ma'am na maghimo ana kay wala na mo'y activity, wala na mo'y buhaton. So I will just give you two examples, okay? And then after that, you really have to do the rest of it. I will now stop. Ako na lang ni siyang stop. And then I want you to go back to our group chat and then press again the link so you will come back. Okay? And then allow me around 5 minutes na lang. We'll have a break 5 minutes before we begin. So allow 5 minutes before coming in. Or pwede gyapon mo mo join na diretso daan. Then just wait for me for 5 minutes na lang ko tan-awon before ta mag-start. Okay? So I'll see you again sa ato ang activity. Please, ayaw sa muog lakaw. Okay? Ako lang i-stop. Kanya balik mo dayon. Okay, so see you. I will stop the recording.